All right, Richard, let's start with you. First weekend thoughts. Is Hamilton getting destroyed, Richard, and you were there. What did you make out of that, and can they bounce back against Desert Ridge this week?
Yeah, I mean, Liberty must be on a different level because I didn't see this coming at all. I thought at one point in the summer, I was actually considering ranking Hamilton number one over Basha, Liberty, Chandler, Saguaro, everybody. And then basically Zadevsky talked me out of it, but I thought he was just kind of downplaying his team. And then when I heard about the Basha scrimmage and the John Wilson popping off a 40-yard touchdown on the very first play of that scrimmage, I thought, I think I'm going to have to need to move Liberty up to at least number two, Basha one, and then Hamilton three. But I didn't see this. I didn't see this happen.
Zach, what'd you think? What'd you think about the first game? You were there.
I was shocked. I kind of looked over a lot of the people that I was on the sideline with, and my whole reaction was just, what are we watching right now? I mean, it was just a full-blown beatdown by Liberty, to Hamilton. To Richard's point, that defense for Hamilton, I thought the front seven was going to be able to win them maybe a championship this year, but that secondary was really struggling. I think Liberty's know-how-to offense really kind of got them on their heels early on in that game, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of the night. And obviously, we all know how it went. 42-point second quarter. I mean, I don't know how you're coming back from that, but yeah, Liberty is very good.
AZ Audibles, Richard Obert, Arizona Republic, Zach Elvira, the Tribune newspapers, week in and week out. I was on the sidelines for Saguaro last week at ALA Queen Creek. Saguaro looked like they were trying to figure things out the first couple series. Then they did. I think an eyebrow raiser was Mountain View going to Queen Creek and winning pretty easily. Those two teams meet this week, Mountain View, Saguaro. I know you guys haven't seen them in the regular season yet. Expecting much of a game out of this one, Zach?
I think in the first half, I think it will definitely be a game. I mean, Saguaro struggled a little bit last week as well in the first half against ALA Queen Creek, but this Mountain View team, I think, is playing motivated. I mean, this is a team that I believe doesn't have their first or second string quarterback right now, so that's obviously a very tough one. But to see what they're able to do against Queen Creek, which is typically a very good defense, I mean, that kind of says a lot about what Joe Germain has done with that offense as well over there. And to your point, Brad, Saguaro kind of took some time to figure it out, but it looks like they were really firing on all cylinders in that second half. And Mason Bray was obviously the guy this year, and I think he is more than deserving of that position. I think he was actually better than Hype Grand when he was there in the spring. And obviously when you have Jaden Matthews, a Georgia Tech commit in your backfield, then you can really do just about anything. I know he had at least 3 touchdowns last week. So first half, I think it'll be pretty close, but I do expect Saguaro to probably run away a little bit, maybe a 2-touchdown win or so.
Richard, I have to keep Zach out of this question because he's a Highland Hawk. And, what high school did you go to, Richard? I don't want to put you on the homer spot here, but we can't have Zach on Highland. Huh?
St. Mary's. I grew up St. Mary's, Green, my whole life, youngest of 8. And but then we moved to Scottsdale during my 8th grade year. So I ended up going to Scottsdale High School. But yeah, St. Mary's.
Yeah,
St. Mary's has always been in my blood, basically.
Yeah, well, we're not going to talk St. Mary's. There's no St. Mary's and no Highland for either one of you this week. For you, Richard, though, Basha at home against Highland, I think that's the marquee game of the week, unless you see something else.
No, that's my game of the week.
Yeah, what do you make out of it?
Highland's really good. I mean, those are two of the best coaches in the state. Chris McDonald at Basha and Brock Farrell at Highland. Gosh, you can't get much better than those two guys. They're just so sound. They just make sure everything's clicking, everything's running smoothly, and two really, really good coaches going at it. Basha, putting up a lot of points against Westwood is great, but that's Westwood. And now Highland, who's always been a defensive-minded program over there with Farrell, will be a little bit tougher. I think Miles Lockhart comes back now. Is expected to play now. I'm picking Basha to win this game. Hopefully it's going to be a competitive game, at least for maybe a half or 3 quarters, but we'll see. I think Basha just got too much firepower, even though they're still young. They're younger in the offensive line, but man, what they did last week kind of showed, okay, man, we're not going anywhere.
Zach, I'm joking, of course, about you and Highland, pretty much. So I will let you have the last word on Basha Highland.
I think it's going to be a very close game. I think this is the year that Highland finally breaks into the Open Division. I actually have Highland as doing as well as 9-1 this year. Depending on
Wow.
how things go, and obviously you can look at the schedule and see who I think they're going to beat this season. But I think Highland with Kalen Fisher at quarterback, obviously he's grown. He's now 6'4". He's looking like a true Power 5 quarterback at this point. You've got firepower with Greg Toller Jr. at wide receiver. Obviously, that's going to be the matchup to watch between him and Miles Lockhart, who does, I believe, come back, like what Richard said. And then the Highland defense as well, I think, is good enough to kind of slow down Basha a little bit. They did at times last year as well. It wasn't necessarily a blowout, but I do think Basha comes away with the win, but I think it's very close.
Richard Obert, AZ Central Sports. Zach Elvira, the Tribune, getting out there. Both of them storming sidelines on a Friday night. Guys, thanks.